I'm super excited today to talk to Dame Dash, who is considered a mogul, an entertainer, an entrepreneur. Is any other titles that I'm missing?
Hopefully, good dad. That's the most important one.
Father, of course.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're a TV personality at this point as well.
Well, on the television network, but I'm on TV
Right.
on my network a lot.
Right. I want to talk about that too. I want to start off by talking about the fact that you are a staple in music culture. And I feel like most of the public was introduced to you as the co-founder of Rockefeller Records. I wanted to know, as a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I think exactly what I've become. Initially, like a young but actually I just wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I never wanted to have to really grow up.
Yeah.
Like what was considered work, I never wanted to do that. I wanted to figure out a way to make a lot of money without doing what everyone else did and to own it.
So you always wanted to do your own thing?
Yeah, I used to hustle. So it was the same kind of thing. We didn't work for anybody. The only person that ever hit us with work was legendary, like a Rich Porter or something. But other than that, it was about having your own block, your own work, and it was about the margins. It was about being the boss at all times. And it was about marketing. It was about collecting money. It was about branding. It was about being consistent and doing it every day, all day, no matter if it was cold or if it was not. It was about making sure you were definitely prepared on the first of the month. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just using those same ideals that I was using to survive in a legal way, and understanding that if I understand what exactly we could do legally, and a lot of the stuff that we do illegally, if we would just apply and, go and get a license for it, we could do it legally. Like, I legally have a gun. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people walk around without a gun. I mean, with a gun, but it's illegal, and they would go to jail for that. But you could just, you know what I mean? Like, I used to drive around without a license. I had a car when I was 15. And like, I just recently got my first legit license, and I'm 50.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of other things. I could smoke weed legally, even though it's legal now. It's like it's legal for me to grow it, and all these other different things. So it's like, if they would just teach us the things that we could do legal, just by applying and understanding the law and doing it correctly, we wouldn't do certain things illegally and go to jail for it. But again, that's a program, so I understand it.
Right. And also sometimes those rules that apply, they don't necessarily always apply to us, to people, Black and brown people too. So,
well, the rules that they want to put on us are meant to control us.
Right.
It's meant to keep our spirit low frequency. It's meant for us not to be able to visualize what the wind looks like, just visualizing the worst in survival.
Right.
And dreaming is a big part of actually winning.
I was going to ask you this, but I feel like you already answered. I was going to ask if you felt like your upbringing or how that specifically kind of contributed to how you all created Rockefeller.
It was everything. Harlem and everything I learned in Harlem, like, I lived in Spanish Harlem, and no disrespect to Spanish Harlem, but when I went uptown to 142nd and Lenox, the survival skills and the honor that came with that, and also a mix of my family lineage, which I don't talk about too often in public. I had no choice but to approach things the way that things were approached. And even still to this day, it's just not even a choice. I can't think in any other way or any other vibration.
Was anyone before you, was anyone in your family entrepreneur?
Yeah, everybody. Everybody was. It might not have been in the way that
traditional.
Mm-hmm. But put it like this: I have a long family lineage of not ever being abused or by racism, of bullying the bully, of always being on top as far as financially and taking care of people. That's what my family is known for. So I'm come from generations of that. A lot of what my family did made it so that I could do what I do freely today. And I take advantage of that fully, of how hard they fought for that. Like I'm a result of what they were fighting for, you know.
Gotcha. Do you think that Rockefeller could thrive in today's musical climate?
I mean, I prepared Rockefeller for today's musical climate. If you notice, I always gave a 360 experience. So there was always a clothing line, there was always the music, there was always the movie, there was always the tour. Shit, I was making fucking, iPods, the rock box. It was always meant to be a completely 360 independent experience. Always. Even down to streaming radio. I was on the first radio streaming. What was that? What was the first one? Exit. I forgot even what it was. So all the things that are being done now, I felt like are seeds that I planted years ago that have finally grown and became trees that are bearing a lot of fruit.
How do you have, or is it something you're just born with? How do you have foresight? Because it's easy for people to follow trends, but I feel like it's rare to be ahead of trends and ahead of, things that are going to be popular.
It's called freedom. When you're a free thinker and you're free, you really can focus and pay attention to the small details that most people don't. I ain't worried about what everybody else thinks because I'm free. I know that if I like it, then probably a lot of people will like it. And if they don't, I really don't care. I just work with whatever inspires me. I don't look at something as how marketable. There's a lot of things that have inspired me that as of yet hasn't made me any money, but I know will at some point. Right. But I'm only working when I'm inspired. So when I leave a situation, it's because I'm not inspired by it anymore. There's no other reason. I just only move when I want and how I want.
How you just said, you're not really concerned about what other people are doing, what others are doing kind of thing. Have you always been like that, or you've gotten like that as you've been older?
I was always it's a Harlem thing, I think. When you get money when you're young, you become very arrogant. When you're making more money than adults when you're 15, it's hard for an adult or anyone that's not making as much money as you, especially when you're that young, to ever tell you how to act. So it makes you very confident in your opinion. So it's like the person that's usually trying to give me their opinion that contradicts mine is someone that's never done it better than me. So I'd be like, yo, you have to show me factually how you make more money than me or survive better than me before you start telling me how to survive. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just confident in my point of view. And I just think that everyone else should be. But I think fear of what people think and fear in general is an artificial feeling that's implemented to control. So people can't fulfill their dreams because they're so worried about things. So I just tend to have this thing. I just don't worry.
How can you not worry? Like
my question is, how can you worry? What the fuck? What's the purpose of it? It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Just be prepared. Why worry about it?
So are you fearless? Like there's no kind of fear in you, or you're less fearful than the average person?
I don't know about the average person. I know that people around me are scared a lot, and it always stops them from doing stuff. I know I don't like to have fear around me at all. I know it triggers me. If someone's acting scared, they got to get away from me, because they're visualizing the worst. I just tend to visualize the best. There's an equilibrium in the world. There's a yin and a yang. There's a light and a dark of everything. You just have to have the choice of your narrative, whether you choose the light or you choose the dark. I just choose the light.
Okay. And again, you've always been like this. Since you can remember, you always kind of been like.
I mean, after certain things have happened, yeah.
Right.
What I do know is the things that I was always scared of always happen. So I just don't be scared of it.
Huh. Okay. Gotcha. The only
thing I'm scared of is being scared. I hate being scared. So of course, naturally, scare is a natural emotion. I'm not going to say I don't feel it. It's how long I feel it. It doesn't last very long. So I might feel it for a second, then I'm like, that's out of there. That's a hormone. Can't control it.
Okay. You sound like my therapist. Would you be interested in
I get a lot of therapy.
Okay. Would you be interested in a biopic about a Rockefeller or you, or a document? Like, is that something that you're thinking about doing, would be interested in doing?
Yeah, at some point.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. you know, there's a time and a place for everything. So if the time and the place is a place I don't own and a time that I don't enjoy, then I'm not doing it. But on my terms, I'm gonna do everything. But it got to be on my terms, or it doesn't get done.
Okay. When you say on your terms, you mean like control, complete control, sort of thing?
I've controlled everything else. How can I not control my life story?
Okay.
I'm alive. That would be a contradiction of the whole story.
Who do you think would be a good person to play you?
You have to discover that person. You have to be superiorly cool.
Okay. I love you're so confident. You say it with a straight face because you mean it. I wanted to ask you if you watched part 1 of Kanye's documentary, because it talked a lot about. Okay, so tell me what you thought.
I thought it was good. I thought it was real good. Good footage, you know. I was glad it got done.
Okay, he really documented, which I thought was cool.
Good job.
You thought you did a good job, yeah.
Well, you know, again, I taught them that. Not to say that I taught Cootie to do that, but I was always the guy that ran around with a camera because I knew that these moments were priceless. It's just a matter of, you know, when it was time. So I was glad that they actually took that advice and did that, you know, or at least followed the example. You know what I mean? So I got a lot of footage. We all got. I got a lot of footage. You know what I mean? But it's just the time. It's always about the time. So I think this is the right time for that because you get insight into who Kanye is, especially because he's so public.
Right.
You know, he's turned into our new Michael Jackson, you know, whether that's negative or positive, but that's just is what it is. You know, I wasn't expecting all that from Kanye.
When you say he's turning into our Michael Jackson, you mean in terms of how famous he is?
Yeah, and how every movie makes, everybody's paying attention to.
Right.
You know, he's triggering, he triggers the world.
Did you see that in him, you know, back then?
No. He wasn't that bold back then, but he always was very confident. His levels to it, you know. So I thought that it was definitely, he had a lot of confidence rapping amongst the fierce rappers that were around.
Right.
And also being vocal, you know, what really, I give everybody the same exact opportunity that I see potential. I see the same potential in mostly everybody. He just really took the opportunity and he really listened. And what he did was he leveraged his celebrity very well. So I'm a guy that made sneakers. I think I might have been the first in the world to have my own sneakers with Nike, the CEO.
Mm-hmm.
I had my first liquor. You know, I had the first streaming service. You know, I have a lot of the first, but because I don't have the celebrity to leverage or the tolerance for the celebrity to leverage it, you know, sometimes things don't move as fast. So I love the fact that he was smart enough to take his celebrity, and that's what I taught them. Use your celebrity to leverage it for your own products. And that's what he did, and that's what mostly everyone that's been successful has done. Leverage their celebrity.
Okay, and you think he does that well?
It doesn't make sense to be famous if you don't have a product to sell. Being famous for the sake of being famous is dumb. It's just dumb. You know, being famous to put the fame on something that you sell, whether it's a reality show, whether it's a sneaker. Can you imagine if Michael Jackson had constructed a sneaker and took the time to do so? Everyone would have bought it and it would have been considered an art piece.
Right.
You know, but maybe he just wasn't savvy enough to work that out.
Right.
So what I was able to do to the artists is get them savvy enough to learn how to leverage products that they own. Why have somebody pay you for your celebrity to put it on a product for them to sell when you can have somebody, or rather leverage your own celebrity and have your own product? And that's all you got to do.
Right.
Period.
Oh, okay.
So like, every time he has a headline, there's a sneaker to buy. And what's that done is secured that he can keep being creative. If you can fund your own creativity, which he does, then you could do whatever the fuck you want. So what you're looking at when you see a Kanye is a free man, free to say what he want, when he want, and everyone has to tolerate it. It's karma for the rest of the world. Whoever ignored him before, you have to pay attention to him now. Whoever bullied him before, you now have to work for him. You understand what I'm saying? The ultimate revenge. And everything on his mind, y'all got to write about it because it makes you money. His revenge is sweet, you know. I'm not mad at it, but I just, you know, it's just not my approach. But if you look at it, you know, it's almost the same thing. You know, everything I do it on my own, and I'm a free man. Every time you see me do the dance, that's the free man dance. That's why not too many people can do it. You understand what I'm saying? It's simple moves, but it comes with freedom. That's the swag that comes with freedom. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The ability to speak, not worry about what another man thinks because that man won't cut you a check. That's a freedom that most people do not enjoy.
Right.
But I do. So people wouldn't understand that freedom and how priceless it is until they actually experience it.
Right.
It could actually blow your mind.
And so that's what you call freedom.
Wouldn't you call doing whatever you want freedom?
Yes, I would. Yes, I would.
Unfortunately, in this world, money buys you freedom.
It does.
It don't matter who you are, what you are. As long as you ain't breaking the law, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny how cool someone is before the money and how cool they are after. It's funny how money can sometimes make people tolerant of people where they were not tolerant before.
That's true. Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. It's like you froze.
I'm so cool. I look frozen.
My goodness. In the
icicle. You know what I'm saying?
My goodness. Okay. In the documentary, you saw that Kanye was really at the beginning struggling with people looking at him as an artist. You know, everybody looked at him as a producer. What took you all so long to sign him as an artist?
It didn't take us long at all. It took.
He felt like it took a while
because he's an artist. And when I watched it, I was like, I don't know what he was tripping for. I said I'm giving him a deal. It was just paperwork. We got the bottom line is, if I say something, we ain't got to talk about it no more. So to me, honestly, if you would have took a deal with somebody else, it would have been a problem.
Because you felt like you already had a verbal.
You already had a deal.
What were you apprehensive at all about signing him?
No.
No.
I wasn't apprehensive about signing any producer because I would always just, when I signed him, I thought we were just gonna make what he does now, put a bunch of artists on the record and have a compilation. You know, my artists go gold and he's a producer, so how could you lose?
Right.
When he started rapping, that was surprising, but I wasn't mad at it because it was working.
Okay.
I wasn't expecting him to like do a solo album like that. Nah.
Oh, so the expectation was he's going to produce for your artists that were already on the label.
I gave everybody a record deal that helped us. It's just a matter of who was going to do it. It wasn't like I didn't give record deals out. I gave them out all the time.
Okay.
I gave out too many record deals. It's just some people. What I liked about Kanye is what he did with the deal. I just supported it. Like, you know, for me, you ain't gonna out hustle me. So every time he showed up to do something, I would show up. But he was doing more than the average. And I would support anything he wanted to do that was more than the average because I respected it as an art. I just used to protect the artist because I am an artist.
Right. What do you remember?
I don't like being a businessman. It sucks.
I'm kind of surprised. You prefer to be an artist?
Yeah, I just do what I got to do. If I wanted to be a businessman, I'd be outside every day.
Okay.
I haven't been outside in like 15 years. Because I don't want to. It looks whack outside to me.
What do you remember most about Kanye during that time?
I don't remember. You know, there was so many things. Everybody, you know, I just felt like I told you. I thought that he had a lot of nerve.
Okay.
You know, I thought he had a lot of nerve. And I thought that and what I saw was that he listened. But, you know, I don't want to do a Kanye interview, you know, because I feel funny talking about another man for a whole interview. You know what I'm saying? So,
okay. Let's.
If you want to ask me about, you know, my perspective in that moment, which is actually what you're doing, I guess that's cool. But I have more perspective than just Kanye in that moment. I had a lot going on.
Yeah.
So if you notice, I'm breezing by. That's maybe why he was wilding, is because I was doing other shit and wasn't focused on him. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? But what made me focus on Kanye really was when he broke his jaw. And, you know, at the time, that was when like Jay was questioning Biggs's value to the company. And I was like, yo, Biggs, you got to start doing shit. And Biggs was started to get more active in the company because before he wasn't. And he was telling me like, yo, you might want to watch Kanye. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I wasn't like watching him at all.
Right.
Because when he was around, it wasn't like the world stopped when he came in. At that time, as you saw, no one was really paying him no mind.
Right.
But that's the point. Even the people that no one paid no mind, I still gave everyone the same respect because everyone had the potential to be who Kanye is. So if Beanie Siegel would have walked in, Cameron or Jay, same exact respect. I always treated everybody equal. To me, no matter what you had already done, because we were together, the respect was always equal. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Period. So that's what it is. While everyone's paying him no mind, I'm still treating him like he was already winning. But that wasn't the environment. It wasn't like, oh shit, Kanye. It got like that after he broke his jaw.
Gotcha. Okay. Moving on from Kanye, let's talk about some of the things in pop culture that you've inspired. I saw an interview where you were just kind of mentioning like that you invented like phrases that people use all the time, like pause and pop tags. Is there anything else that you feel like you inspired in terms like that you feel like people are unaware of?
Well, I made up the name Jehovah.
Yeah.
I made that name up.
Okay.
And you know, even hip hop, y'all know hip hop. He's you know, best A&R in the world. I made that name up.
Okay.
You know, I could definitely say the basketball shorts thing. I did that first with the long socks. You could look at the Aaliyah softball games. Nobody else has that on. You know, but I got the long socks on with the bat. I did that intentionally. This baby does go right here. Say hi.
So cute. Hi.
Yeah.
Hi. You're
Right
so
here.
handsome. I'm sorry, I got distracted.
No, he does that. And this one over
Hi.
here.
How you
wants to be
doing?
the girl. You notice she wants to be the girl version of me, so she wears a bucket.
How you doing? Good.
This is my grandmother. You know what I'm saying?
Where?
Hold on, you watching her? And then there's Cashley. Here's Cash.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
She smokes
Good.
Dutchess, so she's a little high. So yeah.
Okay.
That's Nicolette.
I know, I met her. She started the hi, how you doing again?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to talk about Paid in Full. You made headlines early this year. You said you're going to start filming again for the sequel. What's the latest? Is that still moving forward, or what's going on with that?
Yeah, I'm casting the cars right now. And then, you know, so I link, you know, the BBS boys, they're actually running around the world selecting the best, illest, paid in full mobiles, you know, the things that were, because, you know, back in then, it was like about having a farm and getting shit flown in. So, you know, we got to keep it all the way real. This time, I don't have to deal with the shit I had to deal with, where I had to fight for the integrity of it. I'm in control of it. So first is the cars. The car part of it is important. And then I'm interviewing everybody from different perspectives. So when I did it the first time, I did it from one perspective.
Right.
And also I caught a lot of heat for that. But now, and I can only, because I did it with another film company. But now I can show different perspectives. And mine is one of them because I was there.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you know, there's Lou Sims' perspective from the lynch mob.
Mm-hmm.
We grew up together. We were close. Pause. And then there's Jay Black's perspective, who was in my immediate crew, the best out, but he was, you know, Rich's lieutenant. So, you know, he was right there. And then there's Kev Child's perspective, who was considered a peer, his friend, and a lot went on with him. And then so we were all kind of connected in some way, you know?
Okay.
And then, you know, a lot went on right after that, after it happened. And we'll get into that as well. Basically, I already have 3 seasons mapped out.
So it's gonna be like a series?
A series, a docu-series, a movie,
Okay,
car show. BBS Boys also did a show.
okay,
We're filming that now. You know, it's a franchise.
okay. What go ahead, what you about to say?
No, I was about to listen.
What kind of timeline are you thinking?
We started already.
I mean, in terms of like as a regular person, when will we get to see something? What do you think, you know?
Something?
Like when we get to see the first part 1, or because you said it's gonna be like a,
See, 'cause, you know, this is an art. So
I know.
you'll see the first installment of the process in January.
Okay. And are you going to be in it, or are you gonna cast yourself? Or how's that gonna work?
Well, I'm 50, right?
You are, but you
And
said you said documentary, so I'm like, I don't know if you're
I'm
gonna
definitely gonna be in the first layer of the questioning, yes. But it won't be only me. You know, like I said, the people I name, my crew the best out, or at least whoever shows up from there.
Okay,
You know, but definitely key people that most consider legends that I actually grew up with. To
okay,
get to hear their point of views. And then they'll, you know, their stories will probably morph into their own movies and series. You know, that's the intention.
okay. Can
You
you
know,
tell
it's
me?
like,
Mhm.
I'm sorry, guys.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm listening to you.
I was gonna say, can you tell me about your streaming platform?
Well, there's Dame Dash Studios, and we've recently done a partnership with Fox Soul. So currently, 4 hours a day of Dame Dash Studios content is playing on Fox Soul. And you know, the innovative thing about Dame Dash Studios is that when you're looking at it, you could buy what you see. And now that we have partners along the lines of Fox Soul, which means you have a sales team, right?
Yeah.
Um, now we're official television network, but also we are a movie distributor. So currently I have 30 movies curated by Omar, who's the head of acquisitions at Dame Dash Studios Distribution. So we also have 30 movies as well that you can see on Tubi and Fox Soul and Dame Dash Studios. And then I have some other things. I'm making an announcement on Monday, because, you know, just acquired a arena football team and a football league. And we'll
That's
be
major.
showing it. Yeah, you know, it's time to get at sports. I've been disruptive. You know, when you ask me kind of like what the favorite thing for me to do is to conquer an industry, because most industries culturally don't behoove us, exploits us. So you saw what I did in music. I woke people up and shook people up. Same shit in movies, same shit in fashion. And sports to me is the most flagrant example of racism, especially football. Like, you know, I would say if all black people quit the NFL, there would be no NFL. And to an NFL player, the person that pays them and feed is the person that feeds them. That's like their God, kind of. And the name is owner, and all of them are white. So while they're in a booth and we're getting concussions, they're getting paid, they're laughing. When someone get hurt, they just get them out of there, get somebody else.
Yeah.
This person walks away traumatized, needs therapy, physically battered, and most of the time with not so much money. And that has to stop.
Right.
And it's not about them changing their rules, because it's their house. It's about us building our own house and making our own rules.
Okay.
So it's just, I can't complain about this. Tried to buy a team. I've watched other black powerful men try to black teams, buy teams. And you know, they got to vote you in. It's like a co-op.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
That's how old their mentality is. So in their rich bubble world, it's still 1973, but
Right.
it's not. It's 2022. And accountability and the fact that I can give television rights, that gives a lot of power. So why not build our own house and swing on them? So I got to try them. I want to be disruptive in sports.
Okay.
I want to be known as a conqueror of industry,
Okay.
like the Alexander the Great or Julius Caesar or Hannibal of industries, fighting for culture and love. That's what I want to be known for.
Okay. So you're gonna announce the arena.
The arena football, and then there's another big announcement where I think we're gonna get right at NFL with the big time shit too. So the Cyclones, Tampa Bay Cyclones is the name of the team.
Okay.
And you know, right after that, you know, I don't like the way they treat the HBCUs. You know, like number one, now college students can be sponsored, they can make money.
Right.
But if they're not televised, they're not going to make so much money.
Right.
And they're not televising Grambling games or any of the HBCU games.
Yeah.
And what comes with that is so much culture. There's the bands.
Mm-hmm. I went to HBCU.
So you're all right. So offline, I'll tell you. And then there's also the drill squads, the drill teams.
Yeah.
The dancing. So, you know,
it's a whole thing. Yeah.
It's a whole thing going on that should be recognized at a professional level.
Right.
I think there's a pocket right there. And I'll be launching that this season, but I want to get everything a little better before I actually start talking.
Okay.
But then also, everything that happens in the real world for us will always happen in the metaverse.
Okay.
And then also, you know, I'm in a rock band too.
I didn't know you were. I did not know you're in a rock band.
Are you kidding?
I was not aware.
Billy Pablo III. I'm lead singer in the rock band.
Well, see, I did see some clips of you on Instagram, like singing and stuff, and I was like, "What is going on?" I was so confused. I'm like, "What's going on?" But
go to Spotify right now, and you can get therapy by the Black Guns. The album is Therapy.
Okay.
By the Black. You can listen to it right now. But we got a lot of records. You know, I'm a rock star. I can't help it.
Yes, you are.
And I got the best band in the universe.
Do you?
Yeah, guitar player Tash. He's on tour with Slash right now from the Guns.
Nice.
He doesn't fuck around. And my drummer will I would do a verses with any band.
Would you?
With any rock band, yeah.
Yeah, I know rock band. Who would you like to do a versus with in terms of another rock band?
The Black Keys. I'm gonna get at the Black Keys.
Okay.
You know, I put their first hot album out, the Black Keys.
I didn't know that. I didn't. I'm being honest. I didn't know that.
I'm gonna give you some homework. So okay. Google Black Rock, BLAKROC. You know, and that's the record that I did with them, and I put them with Mos Def and you know RZA and Raekwon the Chef and Q-Tip. And then I invented the term webisodes, made radio stations and all this. This was in like 2005.
Okay.
You can Google it. It's visuals and all that. You can see it.
Okay.
Yeah, I would battle the Black Keys.
All right. I think that would be good.
It wouldn't be good. We would destroy them.
Okay.